that you will speak exactly what's on your heart for the glory of your name. We thank you in Jesus' name we prayed.
Amen. Thank you very much for the prayer. And I would love to once again welcome each one of us for the My Personality workshop. One of the things that I would guarantee you is that it's going to be transformational. It's going to be very insightful. And as an individual, you will appreciate much more who you are and how you can relate with other people and bring success to your life. So, all of us got to know about this. This was the poster that was shared across the different platforms that we perhaps got the opportunity to see this. And in a little bit, I would just love to introduce myself to us. Then we can move forward. My name is Franco, and my nickname, as known as most of the people around me, call me Fort, and I'm okay with that. I do like it. It's short and to the point. My purpose in life is to inspire, to empower, and to lead. I am a founder at So Hope. That's an organization that basically works with children and adolescents with mental health. I also happen to be a minister at God's Glory. Currently, I'm a trainer of trainers. I mean, I'm a training child and adolescent mental health specialist. I have a master's degree in divinity, a BA. I'm a personal discovery and development trainer. And with that, if you look down on the screen, you will see the word CHUSA. I do some work with that wonderful organization that works with adolescents. So there, I am a trainer of trainers, and I am the personal development trainer in a program that I will be sharing with us shortly. If you can join through, it would be very good. So I'll share that program with us shortly. I'm also a public speaking trainer and a counselor / therapist, wellness trainer, and a mentor and a mental health advocacy. I do some poetry, I write, I speak, and I do art for myself. So this is a little bit of who I am. So, but I'm very excited above it all to be with you all. I am very happy and excited. Thank you for sparing the time and coming through. So this is the roadmap. This is how our program is going to go. We are going to look at the objective of the workshop. We shall have some house rules. Then we will have introductions of the participants. Time is going to come, and then we will jump into what personality is, discovering your personality type, and then navigating better relationships with yourself and others. It's going to be a practical session all through, and it's divided into 3 parts. The first part will be that of what personality is, and then the second part will be discovering your personality. We will be doing some tests here and there, some exercises that will enable us to do that, and then we will see how we can work with ourselves and work with others. The objectives of this workshop: 1, it is to help you discover your personality type. You'll get to understand that when you discover your personality type, it eases your communication and connection with yourself, with others, and above it all, with God also. You begin to understand why you do certain things the way you do, why you react or respond the way you respond. And it gives you great control of your life and peace. That is one of the things that we really, really want. We want the peace of mind. We want the rest that we do have. So that will be very helpful to us. The second thing is to understand other people better. When we understand ourselves, we are placed in a position where we can understand other people. We empathetically relate with individuals. And the third step is to help us adapt ourselves to become a better person. That is to ourselves and to others. these are very important, very, very important aspects of the workshop that we need to enhance. What are some of the house rules? You will add some of these. I've just written 3 of them, but you people will add some of it. One is to keep your microphone muted so that we avoid any feedbacks. And then number 2, you can raise your hand if you have something to say, and you can use the chats for any urgent communication when we are in the middle of an explanation. So you can just use the chat. I will use both the chat and the microphone. I will follow through if there is any insights you have gotten, if there is any information or any realization you've gotten and you feel it comfortable with you to share it with us, just feel free to go ahead and do that. I will follow through. What do you think other more house rules could be? What would you add? Sarah, what other house rules do you think we can add to this? Okay. So it's time for us to introduce ourselves. I'm going to mute my mic. It would be good if it's okay with you, you can turn on your camera if it's okay with you. If it's okay with you, if it's not okay with you, just unmute and then introduce who you are, what you do, and why you joined the workshop. That would be important, and what your expectations are. The floor is ours. So there are some few questions there to guide in the introduction. Tell us who you are, what you do, and your expectations of joining the workshop. You could unmute and then speak. Thank you. Hello?
Hello, I could go first.
Yes, please.
My name is Joan Nakiria. I am a sociologist. I am also a researcher. And the reason why I joined this workshop is, I think, a quest to know myself better and to relate with others better. Yeah, because I think I've come to a place where I realize I can only give as much as I have. I cannot give beyond what I have. So I think it's very important for me to know exactly what I have, so that I can know what contribution I can make in the lives of other people. So that's why I find it important to be part of this.
Thank you very much, Joanne. You can only give what you have. That's powerful. Let's hear from the next participant. Please unmute and introduce yourself. Hello? Hello, Sarah, kindly unmute and introduce yourself. Sarah, is there a challenge with your network or something? Okay, let's go ahead. Let us go ahead. Let us move forward. So this is part one of the training, and here we will be looking at what personality is, as I explained earlier on, and I will start it off from this particular place. This is wonderful friends of mine. I have lived with these guys for quite some time, and I know them. The first one is called Malaika, and she's a special chicken, I would say, very special chicken. She always wants to be in the steering wheel. She wants to control everything from the food to where to sleep, to where to drink from. She's always doing that. And then the second one is Krayla. One thing that I like about Krayla is she's very social. You can get out of the home and in the compound, and then she comes to your feet and she begins to and then keeps around you. You can touch her, you can carry her, and she has no problem whatsoever. The only problem I have with her is that she eats a lot, but the other things are well. She is one called Deno. He's the only guy in the compound. And one of the things that I observed about Deno is very careful. Even if you're bringing food to give to him, he's going to look at you like this with a face saying, what do you want to do? What are your intentions? Do you want to cook me? What do you exactly want to do? The other day I was giving food to them and he stood and just looked at me like this. When others are rushing and flocking to the dish where they have the food, for him, he comes last. He first calculates most of the things and then later on he comes. And the last one is called Black Beauty, but I shorten her as Black. Black is one who likes the peace. She likes to be a part of the family, she likes to be a part of the group. She does not cause any chaos whatsoever, but she just follows through. And sometimes one could think that, oh, probably because she is the mother of all of these people, so she could be like that. She's the oldest. She was the very first hen that I got. That was in 2020. But she's so likable. She's so peaceful. She's so reliable. We are going to refer to these creatures later on. They are part of my family and I love them a lot. What is personality then? In the simplest sense, personality is basically the individual differences in characteristic patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving. That's according to the American Psychiatry Association. The individual difference in characteristic patterns of thinking, feeling, and our behavior. It very much embodies characteristics both inherent and acquired. And these distinguish each one of us from the others. And how we can arrive at this is through interaction, the environment, the people we relate to, the different persons that we relate to help us identify what our personality is. If they got you and put you in a room somewhere where there are no people, it would be difficult to find out what exactly or who exactly you are. And it's also the intersection between our moods, our opinions, and our attitudes. It basically reinforces the definition, the individual differences between what we think, feel, and behave. So our moods are tied to our feelings. Those are our emotions. Our opinions are tied to our thinking and our attitudes. Our attitudes are seen by how we respond to the different things that gets to our lives. So personality is extremely important. If we got to understand what it is, then it enables us to navigate through life in a much better way. I would love to move ahead here. Now, using the DISC behavior questionnaire, we are much able to delve into who we are. And the DISC behavior questionnaire was developed by a psychologist, that is in 1928. His name was William Moulton Matson. And he developed this to help people navigate through the different experiences and interactions that they have. The DISC is considered one of the very best personality tools due to the following reasons. The first is it's easy to use, its ease of usage, and then two, it provides over 384 possibility behavior patterns. That is wonderful. It provides over 348 behavior patterns. Now, DISC basically stands for dominant, influential, steady, and compliance, or conscious. Some other people would say it's conscious. And this is very, very important. What this does not measure, or the purpose of the DISC tool is, it does not measure our intelligence. It does not measure our values. No, it does not measure skills. It doesn't measure our education, and it also doesn't measure the trainings that we've done. You can go ahead and carry on the DISC personality, the DISC test, and you'll never know your intelligence. Our IQ is not measured by the DISC, but the DISC helps measure our emotion, and it also helps measure our behavior. Our interaction with other people can be predicted by the DISC personality. And it is not for judgment, because at the end of this, we will be like, oh yes, you will begin to see people in a much deeper way. And the temptation of judging is so easy. You're like, oh, I know the reason as to why I did not like that person. I know the reason as to why I did not feel very okay with this human being. Oh, he's so and so, he's this and this. No, the DISC personality does not do that. It just helps you to interact more with yourself. Very, very, very important. And other tools that have been used to measure personalities is what we call the Myers-Briggs personality test. And we also have the Enneagram, So this is very, 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 very important. And there are many others. Why is the DISC? The two main ones that are used, we have the DISC. Viola, you're very welcome. We have the DISC personality, and we also have the MBPT. With the MBPT, it's not today's discussion, so I won't say a thing about it, but you can just Google and then you will get lots of information concerning it. I am basically going to majorly use the DISC personality test. There is what we call the personality pie. Wherever you are, I just request you to do this. Get a piece of paper. Here, I would want us to be very participatory. Get a piece of paper. Get a piece of paper where you are. And then, if you have gotten it with you, just type in the group, say, I got it. Get a piece of paper. Get a piece of paper, or it would be good if you got a notebook. So get a notebook for yourself. And then if you have gotten a notebook or somewhere to write, just type in the chat room and say, I got it. I have it. I have a notebook. Just type there, type it on for me. That is going to be very encouraging to me. Just put it there. I have it. I am waiting for that. Viola, once again, you're very welcome. Have you done so? Just write, I've got it, I've got it, I've got it, I've got it. All right, awesome. Now draw a circle. Draw a circle. Find somewhere to write, draw a circle. And then when you've drawn a circle, divide the circle into 4. Divide the circle into 4. Just draw a line. Draw a line. And on the top of the circle, you write the word outgoing. Write the word outgoing. On the top of the circle, write the word outgoing. On the bottom of the circle, write the word reserved. On the left of the circle, write the word task oriented or task focused, any of those two, either oriented or focused. And then on the right of the circle, write the word people oriented. I will repeat the instructions. 1, get somewhere to write, preferably a notebook. 2, draw a circle. Divide that circle into 4 by drawing a cross in the middle. On top of the circle, write the word outgoing. On the bottom of the circle, write the word reserved. On the left of the circle, write the word people oriented. And then on the right of the circle, write the word, on the left, write task oriented, and then on the right of the circle, write the word people oriented. And as you see the diagram on the screen, you write D, I, S, and C. Now just do that. And then one more instruction is coming. I am bringing one more instruction that will guide us. Now, if you consider yourself to be an outgoing person, or if you consider yourself to be an outgoing person, or if you consider yourself to be a reserved person, just circle. You circle. If you're an outgoing person, circle the word outgoing. If you are a reserved person, you circle the word reserved. I believe that is done. And then the second thing, let's look at the task-orientedness and let's look at the people-orientedness. If you really feel that you are a people-oriented person, your focus is more on relationships. Your focus is more on people. Your focus is more on well-being of people. You circle people-oriented. And if your focus is much more on results and tasks and projects and things being done and things being accomplished, you circle the word task-oriented. Now, when you're done doing that, which letter of the DISC falls between what you have circled, either outgoing or reserved, and task-orientedness or people-orientedness? Which letter is that? Kindly share it with me. Kindly share it with me. Just write it there. We are going to delve much deeper into this just shortly. Just do that shortly. I can play a bit of music to could you see? Wonderful. So see, you are, according to this, you are a reserved person and you are a task-oriented person. All right, we will get into that shortly. Thank you very much for sharing your letter. Now let's move a little bit forward and see how this is going to turn out. Let's see how it's going to turn out. We will get to understand what the C is, compliance. We will get to understand what the D is, dominance. We will get to understand what the I is, influence, and we'll get to understand in a little bit deeper sense what the S is. Now, there is another test. This I want you to do. I'm just going to give the instructions, and then when we are done with the instructions, I'll give you about 10 minutes to fill this up and share with me. I'll give you around 8 to 10 minutes. You will fill this up and then share it with me. Now, here it's going to help ascertain certain things following what we just did, the very basic. This is a little bit detailed, and I believe that with this, it's going to be a lot more wonderful. So step 1 says, in each of the 5 boxes below, examine the 4 descriptive adjectives as they may or may not describe you. And then in each box, rank the adjective that best describes you as a 7. And next to that, 5, and next to that 3, and next to that 1. There should not be any ties. There should not be any ties. And step number 1, we have all this describing these adjectives, descriptive adjectives. In category 1, we have stubborn, persuasive, gentle, and humble. In category 2, we have competitive, playful, obliging, and we have obedient. Category 3, we have that. Category 4, we have that. Category 5, we have that. And then in step 2, you will transfer the numbers that you have gotten from step 1 into step 2. Category 1, A, B, C, D, you transfer your figures there. Category B, you do the same thing. And at the end of it all, you are going to add those numbers up in the different categories and subcategories, the different categories between 1 and 5, and the different subcategories between A and D. Add those up and then fill it up into the last step 3. Transfer the totals, each column, to the scores below A, B, C, D. Just fill those up, and then you are going to write in the chart what the total is. Say you will just pick up A, or you'll just pick up D, write the figure, I, write the figure, S, write the figure, and C, write the figure. I am going to be giving us 10 minutes. I'll give you 10 minutes to be able to do that, and then I'll get back so you can enjoy the music as it plays. If there are any questions, please ask that I can respond to you. Decide it, enjoy it. We have 10 minutes. At exactly 5 minutes to 11, I will be coming back, and then we will have a better discussion. So enjoy the work.
Question.
Yes, please.
What does it mean to be obliging?
Obliging means to follow rules.
Okay. How different is it from obedient?
How different is it from what?
Obedient.
Obedient, obedient is basically doing what you are told. There's some definition there that could be of help to us based on the question that you sent. So obliging means to be the willingness to do a favor or a service or kindness, and obedience basically means complying with or willing to follow orders. We have 4 minutes. Okay, I think our 10 minutes are done. So I'll request us to share. Could you kindly share with us what your results are? Please share what your results are. What are your results?
Okay, so for the, okay, so for A,
yes,
my result 11.
11.
Yes.
And then for B,
11.
11 still.
Mm.
And then for C,
29.
29.
Mm.
29. And then for D,
29.
29. Now let's get a bit of interpretation of this. We will get the interpretation of this. Wow, this is interesting. You have ties, eh? Okay, ties here. Okay, so 11, 11, 29, 29. Let me also say this, when it gets to personality, none of these personalities is better than the other. So at this, in our part 2, we are going to delve deeper into what exactly are, what do these figures mean to us? What do these figures mean to us? So let's get there in a bit. What do these figures mean to us? What does, so welcome to part 2, and let's delve deeper into this. Now, the D personality, the D people are basically their main focus is on problems. Their main focus is on challenges. Let's look into that shortly. What are the positives? What are the traits of these? One, they are very high egocentric. They have a very high ego strength. They are very strong-willed. They are very decisive. They are very efficient with what they do. They desire change a lot, very much. They are very competitive, very independent, and very practical. Remember my family that I shared with you? Malaika is a D. Actually, when you are feeling this, I moved out to go and check, and guess what I found? She had displaced another chicken that was brooding over the egg. And the moment I got in, she began to make a lot of noise, saying, "This is my territory." What are the negative aspects of the D? They are very pushy, they're impatient, they are domineering, they are talk fast, they are tough, and they are harsh. They love to direct, they love that's them. They are compared to a lion. The lion is the king of the jungle, the king of the jungle. So the D's, in terms of animals, they are compared to the lion. Let's look at some other more aspects. Let's remember this. What drives and thrills a D person is being in authority. And then they also love challenges, they love prestige, and they love freedom. If you want to get them excited and get the best out of them, give them a variety of activities, give them difficult tasks, communicate and assign them things that need a logical approach, and always grant them opportunity to advance. They will do the best thing that there is that anyone can do. What are their focus? Their main focus is on achieving goals and having results. That's what they live for. Achieve goals, have results. They function best in very active, challenging environments. An example here could be Apostle Paul, and later on we are going to look at other prominent personalities that embody this. Their time management style is now. They ride on the efficient use of time, and they love to get to the point. You don't come and tell them stories. They will be thinking, could you get to that point? I just wanted to get to the point. Don't tell me stories. Those are the D's. The I's that are the influencing. Now your D was 11 and your I was 11. Who are the I's? The I's, a little bit here. Some other persons have said the D's are the doers. They are the drivers. They are the directors. That's how they have described them. Now the I's are the influencing people. They are the interesting people. They are the talkative, the interactive people. Their main focus is on relationship building. What are the positives? They are very emotional. They are enthusiastic. They are optimistic. They are ambitious people. They are friendly, talkative. They are very people-oriented, and they are extremely stimulating. If you want things to spread around, if you're this kind of person who moves, who loves these things, you are an emotional person, you are an enthusiastic person, you are an optimistic person, you are a friendly, talkative, you are a people-oriented people, you love relationship building, relationship maintenance, then there are high chances that you are an I. The negative part is they are extremely disorganized. They are very indisciplined. They are very manipulative. They are very excitable, reactive, and vain. That's the negative side of them. What do we need to remember when we are dealing with this? They thrive and they crave for social recognition of the ideas they have shared, social recognition of who they are as individuals. They love popularity. They love to talk to people and they love the freedom of speech. I just want to speak anyhow. I just want to speak whatever there is in my head. Actually, they have been considered to be impulsive people. They speak before they think. And if you want to get the best out of them, give them the freedom from control. Let them be free from control and detail, because their concentration to detail is very low. Secondly, recognize their abilities, recognize whatever things they do, because they thrive on recognition, and grant them the opportunities to help and motivate others. While as they are disorganized, but they can be very, very good people to motivate and spread and encourage and help other people. The influencing style's main focus is relating to people through verbal persuasion. They function best in friendly, favorable environments. Friendly, favorable environments. Their time management style is the future. They tend to rush for the next exciting thing. They cannot stay put in a staff, in a project, in a relationship. They just want the next, what's the next hit? What's the next banging thing? What's the next stuff? That's how they run. That's how they relate. The steadiness. Oh, one thing, the example, the animal example of these guys are the otter. It's extremely playful, a very playful reptile, very, 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 very playful, very, very friendly, very, very excitable, very, very, very optimistic, and very stimulating animal. Let's look at the S. This is where you fall. You have 29 on S and then 29 on C. Let's look at the steadiness. The animal representation of these there is a dog called the golden retriever. It's very friendly, it's very stable, it's very supportive. The S people are the supportive human beings, very, very supportive. What are the positives? They are dependable, they are agreeable, they are supportive, they accept change very slowly. They are the extreme opposite of this D. The D's accept change very fast. They love changing environments, but the S accept change extremely slowly. They are contented with whatever the status quo. They are calm, they are amiable, and they are very respectful. They respect authority, they respect rules and regulations. They want to do it right. The negatives is many times they are very unsure. It takes them a lot of time. They are palliable. They are awkward sometimes. They are very possessive. If they feel secure with you, they will stick to you. They will stick to a thing. And then they are very conforming and very, very insecure also. They are unsure, palliable, awkward, possessive, conforming, and very insecure. They can even side with the wrong people and they are loyal to them. Extremely, extremely loyal to these guys. So their main focus is relationship building. That's what they want, relationship building. Relationship building is their thing. They love consistency and they love a slow pace. Now, I will explain something a bit. Let me finish this up and I'll explain it. What we need to remember about this S personality type is they are all about status quo. As it was, so it shall be. They love security of situations. They love to feel very secure. They need a lot of time to adjust and they thrive on appreciation of who they are. Appreciate them and then you have the best out of them. They love, if you want to get more best out of them, they love to identify with a group. They love to be a part of a team. They need to have a work pattern. This is how you do it, procedures. They need something that they can follow through. They have limited territories and they love areas of specialization. So when you grant these things to, if you are a person who exhibits this kind of behaviors, then you fall in the S category of persons. What is their style? Their main focus is supporting and cooperating with others. Supporting and cooperating with others is their main focus. They function best in a supportive, harmonious environment. Where there is chaos, they paralyze. They cannot do a thing. An example, biblical example could be Abraham. In the I, the biblical example is Peter, and then in the D, the biblical example is Paul. We see a lot of things happening in their lives, and they are able. You see these things. What is their time management style? The past. They work more slowly to ensure accuracy. Very slowly to ensure accuracy. The time management style for the D was now. The one for the I is the future. The one for these steady people is the past. And now let's look at let's look at the compliance or the compliance. That's C. You had 29 on here. Now with the C, these are the perfectionists, these are the thinkers, these are the cautious persons, these are the conscientious, the very organized people. These are the people who love details. What are the positives? They are perfectionists. They are very sensitive. They love accurate things, details and details and details. They are very persistent. They are very serious human beings. They need so many explanations because of the detail-oriented nature of them. They love orderliness and they are extremely conscious. My family that I showed us at the beginning, this is the norm. That's typical of who they are. These people love procedures and constraints. Procedures and constraints. What are the negatives? They are very stuffy. They are fearful of criticism. They are undecisive because of the too much information that they need before they make any decisions. They are very moralistic. It's either right or wrong. There is no gray ground between, there is no gray area with these people. It's either right or it's wrong. It's either black or white. It's either day or night. You don't tell them it's in between. No, it's right or. They are very picky and very critical. Remember that they seek security. They don't love sudden changes. They love personal attention. Personal attention. And they love a little responsibility, a little responsibility. If you are working with them, give them the exact job description that they can follow through, because they spend a lot of time on any single stuff that you give to them. They love a controlled environment. Why? Because they thrive on procedures and constraints. This is right or wrong. And then they also love status quo. They love a lot of reassurance. You need to continually reassure them that what you're doing is right. What you're doing is right. What you're doing is right. Oh, yes, you're in the right path. Come on, continue. You are doing the right thing. Just continue. Fiona, you're very welcome. You just continue. You are doing the right thing. They love reassurance and they love to be a part of the team. And sometimes with these people, what they do is they can even choose to work alone because they feel fine. They can just choose to work alone. Now, remember that with the personality pie, we had the outgoing on top, the reserved down, and then we had the task-oriented on the left, and we had the people-oriented on the right. The C type of people are task-oriented, but they are the lower side. What do we need to remember? The compliance style is they focus on details and doing things right. Details and doing things right. They function best in a structured, orderly environment. We can have a biblical example, that is Moses. I am going to be telling us the prominent example currently in this world that we've been in that we can relate with quite so well. And then their time management style is they focus on the present. Likes to spend time in a personal interaction, sometimes to the detriment of tasks. They love to spend time in a personal interaction. They love that one-on-one interactive aspect of it. What are some of the prominent examples here? Donald Trump. What do you think Donald Trump's style is based on the examples and the explanations that we've had? Can you just try and respond? Fiona, you came in a bit late. John, probably you could help us. Oh. All right. Donald Trump's personality style is the direct one, the dominant one. He speaks what is on his mind. He doesn't care. He seems to be like he doesn't have any emotions attached to him. He's just there. He just speaks it. Once things done, he says the wall has to be built. And in a short while, they are already making plans to get it wall. He loves the challenge. He loves change. The I could be, we have Oprah Winfrey. She's so sociable. She's a people person and she likes to talk to people. She likes to relate to people. See how prominent her show is. The S, we have David Beckham. He's very supportive, very steady, very secure. He's there. He doesn't, we've not seen him in a lot of things. And then the C, these are the thinkers. These are the conscious men and conscious women. These are the organized men and organized women. We have people like Bill Gates. We have people like Albert Einstein. We have people like Mark Zuckerberg. These are the guys who follow through these things. We have Donald Trump. There is an image of this other, the judge, the famous American judge. His name is Simon Conwell. Simon Conwell falls right where Donald Trump falls. Another example that I could give is we have in the category of Oprah Winfrey, we have people like Will Smith. They are very happy and sociable and they do all these kinds of things. So this is it. Now, in conclusion, if you are a D person, you are a doer, and your main focus majorly is in solving problems. And then if you are an I person, you are a talkative person and very enthusiastic, very, very enthusiastic. You look at influencing people, you thrive more with interaction, and you love social recognition. The S are the steady people, and these love pace and they love consistency. And while the C are the compliant people, they are very analytical, they love procedures, they love detail. Do you think with the explanation we've had, where do you fall? John, you're here at the beginning. Does you put C at the very basic test that we did right now? How do you feel about? Do you think this tries to cast some light on what your personality is? Do you agree with this test? Could you have a discussion?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Hello? May you please unmute? Hello, Fiona.
Hello, how are you?
I'm
sorry I got a bit distracted. I didn't hear the last bit of it. What was it?
The last bit was the C type. And if I explain a little bit about the C type, these are people who are very detail oriented. They are people who are very critical, people who are very cautious, people who are very organized. Their positive side is they are perfectionists. They are very sensitive people. They love accuracy. They are persistent. They are very serious people. They need a lot of explanations. And that comes in from the place of detail orientedness. If you're to talk to them about anything, you don't just tell them, For instance, I came in and I bought this, or there's this news article that I was reading, or there's this project that I'm working on. It's going to say help young men and young women with mental disorders, and then you stop at that. No, you will ask, okay, when do you think you're going to start this? How are you going to do this? Who are the people going to be involved? All that, it moves on there. And they are very orderly and very conscious people. The negative side of them is they are scruffy, they fear criticism because of the perfectionist nature that they carry. They spend a lot of time on a thing, and then when they bring it out, they have done all due diligence to see that what they have placed there is okay. They are very undecisive because of the too much detail that they need to make a decision. They are moralistic, either right or wrong. They are picky and critical. Isaac, you're very welcome. And then what we need to remember about these people is they love security. They don't thrive well, or they don't need sudden changes because it takes them a lot of time to adapt to stuff. And then we also look at they love personal attention, and they just like little responsibility. Give them little responsibility because they spend tons of time, tons of hours to work on a few things. They need the exact job description. They need controlled work environment. They love the status quo. Things have been so it will be. They love a lot of reassurance, and they love to be a part of the group. And their focus is majorly on details and doing things right. They function best in structured and orderly environments. An example could be Moses in the Bible. And we can look at Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg and other people. And we also have their time management style is they focus on the present. Like they like to spend time in personal interaction and sometimes to the detriment of tasks because they love that they fall in the category of they love to be with people. They love that. So that's basically the C type. So with these explanations, the example is we have Donald Trump as a D type. He's in the dominant type, direct to the point, seems very unemotional. Oprah Winfrey falls in the I, very interactive, very enthusiastic, very people-oriented. David Beckham falls in the yes. And then we have Bill Gates falling in the C. So with the explanation given, do you feel this tries, it captures, does it help you understand a bit more the behavior and the interactions you've had over the period of time with the people? And could you just share, talk to us in a bit? Talk to us. Someone, Joan, before you jumped out, there was something you were telling us.
Yes, you asked a question. I was responding to it.
All right.
You asked how, if the descriptions you had given, if I felt they describe, I think if those adjectives describe me, something like that. Yes. I think as you were reading through, I couldn't help but notice that I think I have evolved. I guess that's the best way I could put it. The very first time I did this personality test, I struggled to do it. I struggled to even attach an adjective to myself. This time I found it very easy to attach an adjective. I'm like, okay, I think this is who I am, this is who I am, this is 7'5". It was quite easy. But I think it's because I've also embraced such a challenge. But then I also realized it's also, there is something you said about either it's the S or the C that is not very comfortable with criticisms.
That's the C.
And that's the C, yes. And I think that particular aspect of self was probably one of the reasons why I've never been very keen about personality tests, because I feel like, okay, you're just going to tell me all my wrongs. Yes, but I think the more I've embraced it, it becomes easier. But then it's also just like looking at the mirror, looking at yourself through the mirror and being able to identify, oh, my lipstick is not in place. And then you probably think, okay, how best can we put it in place? Or I think today I just want to have my one brow higher than the other, like I'm comfortable with that. And it's not about, yeah. So I think it's a good reflection. It's a good reflection. I like the fact that it found it easier. And I like the fact that it's now comfortable. It feels like looking at the image through a mirror. And yeah, being comfortable with that and seeing where there's room for improvement, especially in relating with other people.
Okay. It's encouraging to hear you say that, because the purpose of this is to help us discover what our personality types are, and then to enable us navigate through the relationship. It's to better our interaction, our communication and connection with people. The more you get to know about yourself is the more you better interact with people. We've got challenges these days that we don't take time to say, know who we are. If they asked you a question, who are you? What would you answer? So this basically helps us understand who we are to enable us connect better and enable us communicate much better. So in our third part, we are going to look at now, how do we navigate this through? Oh, Isaac has jumped through. Oh, we're going to see how we can navigate through this, which would be another very important aspect. So this is our point number 3 that we are going to get into. This. I think before I get to that, I would just love to interest us in this. There is this particular program that is on. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are thinking of going in business, if you want to improve your business skills and business life, I would greatly encourage you to enroll in this. It's been sliced off. It's just 50%. So the February intake is on. The classes are going to begin very soon. So this would be an amazing thing for you to consider. I will throw the poster in the chat room. You could consider joining that. You will not regret. Okay, let's get to the third part of our presentation, which also happens to be the very last part of our presentation today. And part 3 is basically, how do we navigate? Isaac, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining through. You could perhaps introduce yourself to us in a word or two, in maybe 30 seconds. Isaac, just introduce yourself to us in a bit.
Hello?
Yeah.
Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. Yeah, I'm Isaac. Turiyamureva. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Unfortunately, I came a bit late. I've been having some network issues. Yeah, but I'm happy to be here. Yeah,
All right.
that's it.
So we are glad to have you, Isaac.
Thank you.
There's a lot of stuff that you have missed, but we will see. We will put this up on YouTube. You will be able to get the whole class there. You'll be able to get yeah, I'll just put the YouTube up there. So I've just shared the poster of the other stuff, the program that I highly encourage us to join through. It will change our lives.
Sure.
Let me just do a recap here. Let me do a recap here. The D styles of people are the doers. They are likened to the lion. They love being in authority and they love challenging environments. Their main motivation is problem solving. That's their main motivation. They are direct. They hit the nail on the head. The I are very enthusiastic people. They love fun. They love relating with people. They love recognition. They focus mainly on influencing people, and they thrive very well in friendly environments, very friendly environments, and they get bored so quickly. They want to move to the next thing. The S people are the steady people. Now the I are likened to an animal called otter. The S, these are the peacemakers. They are the supportive group. They are the steady group. And they are people who do their things slowly. Their pace is a bit slow, but they love consistency and they are very consistent. And finally, the C category of people are the conscious people. Some of them call them the thinkers. Before you involve them in a thing, they're going to ask a million questions. How am I going to benefit in this? How is this going to work? Is it really worth it? They will ask a lot of questions. They are extremely analytical and they love procedures and constraints. What does the book say? What do the scientists say? What does the Bible say? Those are the questions they're going to ask. They are very moralistic things, are either yes or no, no gray areas. So they love procedures. So in summary, the D are problem solving human beings. The I are people oriented. They love to relate with people. The S are the pace makers. They love a slow pace. And then the C are basically procedural people. They love procedures and detail. Now let's look at this. What are the emotional needs of these groups of people? Because our personality is our reality, and our reality is our spirituality. That's very important, extremely important. Our personality is our reality, and our reality is our spirituality. We are spirits in a body living. We are spirits with the souls living in a body. Our personalities are a huge blessing that God has given to us. When it's written that we count our blessings, one of the things we need to count is, who am I? My personality, key, very, very, very important. So many times we overlook who we are and begin to look into other more things, and we've gotten stressed. So a human being, our health is not complete except the emotional aspect is on. Now, what are the emotional needs of the D people? The drivers, the dominant people, the domineering ones, the directors. Their need is challenge and accomplishment. They want to be shown appreciation for the quantity of work done. Challenge and accomplishment. They want to get things done. They want to get things done. So if those things are happening, they will be happy. If things are not happening, they are not going to be happy. They want to get 100 in class. If they don't get 100, they feel bad. They want to nail the projects they are doing. They want things to be all. What is the emotional need for the I? The emotional need for the I category is attention and approval of who they are and what they produce. Say their ideas. That's what their needs are. In recognition of their ideas. They want to be shown appreciation for who they are as a person. Very important. If you don't recognize an S, an I, you kill them. And there are this category of people where you go in a place and before you think of anything, you have never met the person, say, but then they begin to talk to you, and if you ignore them, they are beaten up and finished. The emotional need for the S is respect and what? A feeling of self-worth. They want to be shown appreciation by being included on the team. They love to be a part of the team. That sense of belonging, that sense of being a part of the team, they love that very much. When that is granted to them, they will thrive. C, order and sensitivity. Give them an orderly environment, give them an orderly piece of work, give them an orderly order of things, and then you will have met the emotional needs. They want to be shown appreciation for their quality of work. The D's want the quantity, the C's want the quality, because they spend a million hours, a ton of hours trying to accomplish a particular task that they have. Let's look at the communication needs. What are the communication needs of an I, a D, an S, and a C? D speaks freely. They are good at initiating conversations, good at debating. They can be sarcastic at times, and they are often not good listeners because they want to be they want to be in the driver's seat. The I is they are very enthusiastic, they are very stimulating, they can inspire others. They are prone to exaggeration. There are people, an accident will happen, one person dies, and their chances of saying, oh, 10 people have died is very high. And they are also often not good at listening. Why? Because they are always talking and talking. Let's look at the what? The S. The S people, these ones they are quiet, seldom initiates conversations, and can use wit and humor. They are very good at that, and they are usually very good listeners. Why? Because they tend to listen more. They are inclined to listening. They are not very talkative. They are the quiet type. And it also applies to the C. They hesitate to think, to talk until he has thought it out. They think through things clearly before they say it. They are precise. They say precisely what they want to say. And then they are usually good speakers. Now, when we look into this, the D is on the high side, the I is on the highest end, and then the C and S are on the lower end. They are down this side. So these are the emotional needs of these categories of people. Let's look at the personal growth areas. Do you have any questions before we move forward? I feel like I'm running. I see the time. Any questions concerning the past two things that we've spoken about, the emotional needs and the communication needs? Any questions? Any questions? Can't hear you.
No question.
No question.
No, not so far.
Okay.
No, I'm good. I'm following.
You're good, eh? Awesome. Let me ask the two of you, what things really make you guys feel good if you're interacting with people? Aizo, what makes you feel like, oh, this person, it's been a blessing to interact with you? What are those things?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you
Oh, you can hear me.
loud and clear.
I think it was, what are those things that make me what?
Feel good, like you feel, oh yeah, this has been worth it. I was talking to so and so, I met so and so, and yeah, I felt like, yeah, I was felt.
Oh, if someone is, I usually look at someone like if we're talking and the way attentive, like they're good listeners, and their words kind of match with my situation. Like if I talk about something, someone is able to relate.
Mm.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
My network is not very
Oh, sorry about that.
hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I was saying, yeah, if someone is able to relate, somebody is able to relate with, you know, with what I'm speaking about, and shows some level of like he has been into something before, like he's
Okay. Isaac, we can hardly hear you. We can hardly hear you. John, what makes you feel someone has had you, what makes you feel felt when you are communicating with people? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, what makes you feel felt when you are communicating with people?
I'm usually keen to look at body language.
Okay.
And I think for me that is sufficient feedback on my side. So that will either make me feel heard or felt, or yes. So if I'm speaking and I have an individual's attention, that's good enough, whether they are present or not present. the fact that I know I have their attention. Yeah, I usually look at body language. I think for me it communicates everything.
Body language. Wonderful. Okay, let's look at the other. I think we are getting to the close of this. The greatest motivations. The greatest motivation of the D style of people like us. I fall in this category greatly. I've done so many tests, and it's just falls in there. It falls in there. Mine is basically the opposite. It moves like this, DCSI, DCSI. That's my combination. Now, the greatest motivation of the D styles of people are actions and challenge. If there is action is to be done, and if there is a challenge to be taken on by the horn, new challenges and problems to solve. They are frequently very problem sensitive. They want to alleviate sluggishness and a lot of stuff. Power and authority to make risk and to take risk and decisions, freedom from routine and modern tasks. Then their other motivation is changing environments in which to work and play. And results, challenge, and action. If you are to get a magazine for these guys, their favorite magazine would be money. Yeah, that is something that works for them because they love to keep moving. With the I, it's recognition and approval of who they are as persons, and then the other one is for the ideas that they share. Flattery, praise, popularity, and acceptance is top in their list. A friendly environment, freedom from many rules and regulation. They are people who love to thrive more on the laissez-faire type of life. And other people are available to handle details. They hate details. They don't do well with details. And then we look at recognition, approval, and visibility. That's primary for them. Their tagline would be recognition, approval, and visibility. For the D, their tagline would be results, challenge, and action. Let's look at the S, relationships and appreciation. Now the S is the glue of this type of personality, because they put everything at peace, the glue of it all. Relationship and appreciation is key in their list. Recognition for loyalty and dependability, very important. Safety and security is a must for them. A great motivation. And then no sudden changes in procedure or lifestyle. You need to inform them before. A week, 2, even a year. But don't just change things anyhow, because they are slow to adapt. Their tagline would be relationships, appreciation, and security. Very important for them. And their favorite magazine would be Parents. The I's favorite magazine would be People. Then the C, these are, they love, their motivation is protection and security. They are for standards and quality. Limited social interaction. Detailed tasks is what motivates them to. They love logical organization of information, and their tagline would be being right and doing quality work, exact and quality work. And then their favorite magazine would be the Consumer's Report, because they love details a lot. They can spend hours in details. How does this reflect to you as a person? Do you feel, where do you fall? Which ones apply to you here? John, which one applies to you?
I think if I follow the assessment that we did,
Yes,
it's C and S.
mm,
It's C and S, but I think I see myself more in the C than I do in the S, although it was a tie.
mm.
Yeah.
Now, if you say you see yourself more in the C, you remember the basic test that we did at the beginning. Your response was a C. Now, the detailed test that we did was to confirm that. So if you feel that you fall more in the C, then you are the compliant type of people, the thinkers, the conscious people, the conscientious ones, the careful people, the detail-oriented people, the perfectionists. All right, let's look at the final. I think this is final. Let's look at our final aspect of this, the growth, personal growth areas. We are in time, we'll be finishing right in time. The personal growth areas. Following through the discussion from the very beginning to this very end, where as a C style, Joanne, as a C style, where do you feel that you can improve? I'd love to hear from you before I share out some of these things. Where do you feel you can improve? What are some of the areas that you need to improve in?
That's an interesting question. Interesting because I don't think I have an answer. Where I think I can improve. I think one of the areas I am going to be very intentional about is on the area of of security, let me put it that way.
Okay.
Yes, having my ideas approved, waiting for a nod on the head before I can actually move. All those things that tend to hold me back. I think one of the things I've realized is that if I constantly wait for them, they continue to stagnate me in so many ways. So I think one of the things that I've actually purposed and purposed this year, and it's something I've been trying to work on, is what is the most important conviction or most important approval that I need. And once I register that, I'll still take this back to the beautiful fact that I know the Lord, and I feel that is the greatest support and support that I need. Yes. And if it's support and security that usually makes me fall back sometimes or delay on certain things, then I think it's like I have purpose that as long as I can get it from the Lord, then I'm good to go. And it's something that I want to be a little bit more intentional about. And I think it's an area I can improve. And the moment I improve in that area, I think the ADHD hormones will be activated. Yes.
By ADHD, do you mean attention deficit hyperactivity disorder?
Especially the aspect of hyperactivity.
That's interesting. In what sense is that? That's very interesting.
Yeah, in the sense of not having to, because there's something that you said as regards time, which I could easily relate with. The season, the essence, their time is in the past and then present.
Yeah.
So it's past and present, and I see myself a lot in that, like, and I feel like there's need to adopt a future aspect into time. Yes, so that's why I'm talking about the hyperactivity, so that I'm on the move. I'm on the go. I'm not held back by the past and the present, but I'm actually also futuristic and all those things. Yeah.
All right, let's move to the personal growth areas. With the D, they need to strive to be an active listener. They need to slow down and be good listeners. They need to be attentive to other team members' ideas until everyone reaches a consensus, not just going on with what they feel because they want things to move. They need to be less controlling and domineering. They need to develop a greater appreciation for the opinion, feelings, and desires of others. They have been criticized of being not emotional at all. They need to put more energy into personal relationships. They relate much more with projects and results than people. And they need to show support for other team members, which is very important. They need to take time to explain the whys of their statement and proposals. Why did I decide to do this? Why? It's very important. And then they need to be more friendlier and more approachable. With the I's, they need to weigh the pros and cons before making a decision. That is to be less impulsive. They need to be much more result-oriented, not just fun and food. and fairy tale things. They need to exercise control over their actions, words, and emotions because they can easily be hurt if they are not recognized for who they are and the ideas that they share. They need to focus more on details and facts because they can make very funny mistakes, and this could catapult them into better places. They need to remember to slow down your pace as an S, as an I for other team members because they are so fast too. Now the D and the I are very fast. They are very fast, very, very, very fast. While the C, their pace actually is very fast. The C and the S, those ones are a bit slow because they are looking at the nature of who they are. Then they need to talk less and listen more. They have criticized them for being talkative. And they need to consider and evaluate ideas from other team members. And finally, they need to concentrate on following through with tasks. They start, if it's boring, they jump out and they look for the next one. And then the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. Before they finish a project, they have been in 10 projects before any single one of them is done. S, they need to be more open to change because change is a fact of life. And they need to develop that muscle that things can change. And sometimes it can change for the good or the bad. They need to be more direct in your interaction as an S. You need to be much more direct. You need to focus on the overall goal of the team rather than a specific procedure. Put your eyes off a specific procedure and look at the big picture. Deal with confrontation correctly and constructively. Not everyone who confronts you has a bad motive, but they just confront you for certain constructive aspects of things. And then you need to increase your pace to accomplish goals, show more initiative, and work at expressing your thoughts, opinions, and feelings that people get to understand who you are, and then they can relate much better with you. Our C-style people, you need to concentrate on doing the right things, not just things right. You don't just do things right, but you don't just need to be effective, efficient, but you need to be effective. Be less critical of others' ideas and methods. Respond more quickly to accomplish team goals. Don't spend most of the time looking out for detail and then miss deadlines. Try to build relationships with other team members. Don't be a loner. Be more decisive. That means there are things you can decide on even when you don't have the whole data that you need to make that. Focus less on facts and more on people, because people move things, people make things, people hear things, and take risks along with team members. Don't be the black sheep. So in the team, if you succeed as a team. If you fail as a team. In conclusion, therefore, is there any questions or any reflections or realizations you get from the personal growth areas here? You feel free to share them. Hello?
Sorry, sometimes I thought there was someone else on the call. Any reflections? I think there is really no limit to self-discovery.
No.
Just when you think you have a good grip of yourself, then you are introduced to something else. You're like, okay. And that's why I think right from the beginning, I mentioned that I've evolved. I felt I had evolved. And again, I can say that I think I feel better, like better informed and enlightened. like at the end of this than I was at the beginning. So I'm glad that I attended. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm also glad that you attended, and thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have come to the close. I'm going to put this on YouTube so you can follow through whenever. If there are any things you can follow it through, which would be a good thing, I believe. Thank you very, very much for attending. Thank you for sparing your time here. And I hope this has been helpful. You could let me know how this has been helpful to you as a person. And thank you very much. I would still recommend this program for anyone who is in business or intends to do business, because this is one huge thing that you can not afford to let go. You could share it with your colleagues, and then they can build up their businesses too. So besides it all, it's been a wonderful time to share this Saturday morning with you. And I hope next time when some other thing comes through, you can invite a friend and be a part of it. Above it all, I would love to thank you very much and wish you a wonderful weekend. May the Lord bless you. We can pray as we wind up our workshop session. We have 2 minutes to go. Father, we thank you for who you are and thank you for the opportunity that we had. I ask you to help us integrate this knowledge we have acquired to change our lives and change the lives of those around us. We honor and bless you. In Jesus' name we pray. I would love to wish you a wonderful time. Thank you once again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So have a lovely weekend.